Hello there everybody, Sam Strains here and welcome back to the Railway and welcome back to another sort of review. Hopefully it will be a bit of something different because of course last time the video was all about cranes and I thought today it'd be nice to carry on with the sort of crane theme and show you some of the cranes I've got for the Railway itself. So here's the first one. I'm not going to be unboxing this one obviously because it's not in its box, but this is the sort of Hornby Railways version that's been weathered. It's quite modern. And it's quite a nice, it's a 4-piece set, and yep, I really like them. So yep, that's how I thought I'd introduce it, but the things I'm going to be unboxing are slightly different. So I'm just going to pull this out of the way, very precariously, without the tracks of course. And yeah, the one I'm going to be actually unboxing is this one. As you can see, it's lovely old Hornby packaging here. And as you can see, you've got nice illustration on the front with the operating 75-ton crane set. Written on there, and also you can see I got this one for £25, and actually the model shop was very generous and he gave me an extra 10% off that, so I got it for about £22.50. And as you can see on the end of the box you've got the product code R6369 operating breakdown crane, and that might be quite useful if you want to search for it. But yeah, let's get this one out of the box then without any further ado. Let me see if I can't probably start this side. Yep, there we go. And it's quite interesting packaging, this one is. There it is, and yeah, let's have a quick look at this card. As you can see, you've got a lovely diagram, well, it's probably an illustration or a photo on the front of there. Operating 75-ton breakdown crane set, blah blah blah, and what does it say? Colourful scale model complete with jib truck and bogie wagons. Haha, so that must be the jib truck, and I assume these are the bogie wagons. But yeah, let's have a look, let's take it out. And as I say, the packaging is very interesting. There we go, it's not all come apart. So yeah, let's start then. Let's get the jib truck out, if that's what it is. Might be wrong. I assume it is though. There we go. As you can see, really nice condition. Plastic wheels unfortunately, which is a shame, but never mind, never mind. Very nice. So yeah, that's the jib truck. These must be the bogie wagons then. We've got two of these which are identical. Again, nicely painted little things. I suppose these are to help distribute the weight of the main crane. Yep, there's the other one. Same thing, virtually. And I don't know what's in this little detail area, but let's find out. I've never had this one open. Come on, come on. Peel it back. It's quite interesting, this, a little secret. Ah, what have we here? Ah, I think I get what these might be. Hang on. It's gone and shut itself again. Got to get this tape off. Oh, goodness. There's another one. Right, I reckon I know what they are, so see if you can guess as well. But I think we'll get this main crane out then. Let's see. It's a bit of a bugger to get this one out. Come on, come on. There we go. Right. So there it is. To lift 75 tons. As you can see, nicely painted little thing. Certainly not too bad at all. And let's just see. I think these go in here. Yeah, I think they do. And that, of course, stops it falling over once it's on the track. I don't know if I've got those right. Yeah, I think that's right. And I think you can put these in and then it's a bit more stable. Let's see. Yep. So then you can raise it up and do whatever with it, and you could probably actually lift some wagons or whatnot with that. But I'll take those out because of course you can't have them in there while she's on the tracks. So, yep, let's put this lot together then. I'll just put that out of the way. And you can see what it looks like. And what I will do is I'll take them up onto the white background in a little while and just show you them in a little more detail, but I won't spend long on them because they're not as interesting as locomotives, of course. So yeah, there's that, and more on her later, so I'll just move her out the way, if we call it her, I'm not sure. There we go. Okay, so the second thing I'm going to unbox then is this one. It's a similar sort of thing, but slightly different of course. This is a later Hornby Railroad crane, and it's more of a sort of crane pack, because you've got a wagon and a brake van as well. So anyway, yeah, not a lot to see on the packaging with this one, so I think we'll just get it open straight away. So let me open this end. Get this one out, and this one I got on eBay for about £22 or something like that, including shipping, so it was quite good. And this one's a great one for the kids because it's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's have a quick look then. Let's see what the wagon is first. What does this say? Tredegar or something. 5014. A nice wide wagon there, well long. So that's quite nice. Plastic wheels, unfortunately. I don't know why Hornby keep supplying plastic wheels on things. They should all be metal, really. But I suppose it does keep the price down. And here's another brake fan. I've got quite a few of these now, but you can never have too many. So that's a really nice, nice thing to have there. Nice brown brake fan. What's that? 20 ton. Yep, quite standard issue, I suppose. And let's get the crane out then, shall we? Let's start with the actual unit itself, which is a bit of a pain to get out, but here we go. There we go. As you can see, it's actually quite well detailed, really nice. And you've also got these keys which you put in, and you turn the keys and it operates the crane. And that's quite nice because you can take the key out again afterwards, and then it's the dial isn't sticking out the side. And then of course you've got another dial on the other side, so I'll stick the key in there, and that one operates the hook, which descends like that. Again, it's not a particularly functional crane. I'm not sure you could really lift an awful lot with it, but it's still quite a nice toy to have. And this one is, well, I suppose this is a jib truck as well, is it? With this rotating thing, and it's quite nice. It's really nicely painted, isn't it? And I'll show it to you in a little bit better detail in a moment. But yeah, that's quite nice. Let's put that one together then, see what it all looks like. I'll leave the keys in there. So I assume this goes on this way. It's the only way it can go, really. And I've not got the keys with me, so I can't lower the crane, but never mind. And we'll put the wagon on there and the brake van on there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I quite like that. That's a really nice set for 25 quid. I don't think you can go wrong with that. And we'll bring this one back in. We'll show you this one again in a moment, and it's fallen over. They do tend to fall over quite a lot on and off the track. You can't really, well, without those supports, you can't turn the crane. Hang on, it's stuck. You can't really turn the crane like this and then lift it up because it will just fall over. So you do need those supports if you're going to try and use it as a real breakdown crane, but at least you've got those. And here's the other one. It is a bit precarious because this one's extended quite high. But there we go. Let me move this one back. 3 cranes. 3 Hornby cranes. So yeah, that's cool. I'll show you these in a little more detail then, in just a second. And then once I've done that, I'll put them all together into a big crane train and we'll pull them around and see what happens. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so here's the Hornby Railways sort of red crane. I've just about managed to get it in shot up here. But yeah, as you can see, it's not terribly detailed. It's alright, but then again, it wasn't all that expensive. So generally, I think this is quite a good deal. But yeah, let's show you the detail then. First of all, on the main crane unit, you can see you've got these lovely wasp stripes, which is a nice, well, it's like a sticker, basically. As you can see on there, crane DB966111. I thought to start with that might have been like a measurement of how loud the crane is in decibels, but I assume it's probably just the the running number, and then also you've got the Stratford district there. But the rest of that sort of unit, it is fairly detailed in terms of moulding, but it doesn't have a great deal of paintwork on there, which is a shame. And as you noticed earlier, probably, you've got the to lift 75 tons on there, so it reminds you that it's a 75 ton crane. I assume that doesn't mean in model form, because I'm fairly sure it would snap. But yeah, quite a nice little detailed thing. Of course, these bogie trucks too, quite nicely painted. The sort of axle boxes are painted yellow there with a little yellow splodge. And also the ladders on either side have got a little bit of black paint applied to them, which does make them look quite detailed actually, even though they're not really. But yeah, not bad at all. And if we have a look at the, what's it called, the jib truck, I think. It's a similar sort of thing, same sort of red plastic with the yellow circles this time around the axle boxes, and of course the end of the crane there sits quite nicely on there, and that keeps it stable as well while it's running, which is exactly what you want. But yeah, not a bad little crane, quite detailed. I suppose I'll have to do a little demonstration if I can. Let me just move, hang on. Okay, now with this one I'll probably try and do a little demonstration of it trying to lift a little engine or something on the tracks. We'll see how I get on. So yeah, that raises it. We can lower, or try to lower, the hook. There it goes. It's not terribly heavy, this hook. The railroad one that we're going to look at later is a little bit heavier. But anyway, yeah, let's swing this out towards you. Oh, yeah, it's going to struggle without the stabilisers, as you can see. If I let go of it, it just totally falls over. It's got no weight to it, really. I mean, really, this back part here where the chimney is should have a counterweight, shouldn't it? But no, it doesn't, so it does just fall over. So yep, let's top this back down then so that it's not going to topple over, and try and get everything back on the tracks. And I'll give you a few closing thoughts on this one before we move on to the railroad one. Just try and get this back on. Goodness knows, not that it matters. Alright, well that'll do. So yeah, it's not a bad little thing. The detail isn't terribly good, and another criticism is this chimney, because even when the crane is folded down, it's only this chimney which destroys my sort of loading gauge, which means I can't have the footbridge out. You know, I'll have to move the footbridge when we get this running around the layout. And also, you know how I have the little bookshelf tunnel? Well, when this goes under the bookcase, this chimney has about 0.5 millimeters clearance. It's literally a hair. It looks like it's touching it, but it isn't. So this chimney, I'm not sure if it's detachable, perhaps it is, but I don't want to break it. But this chimney is only just going to fit on my layout, you know, really, under the bookcase. It just about does. But, you know, if the house subsides slightly, I'm sure it won't. But yeah, that's a slight criticism. And the later Hornby Railroad, and the later Hornby Railways version doesn't have that chimney, so that must have been an issue for them. But yeah, there it is anyway. There's the red crane. Let's move very quickly onto the railroad crane. I'll get it right, the yellow one. And I'll show you that one as well very quickly. Alright, so there it is anyway, and as you can see, this one is a 76 ton load, so it just had to be one better, didn't it? Just one more ton. Anyway, yeah, I think it's quite obvious to see that this one is considerably more detailed than the last one, even despite the fact that it's you know, supposed to be a cheap railroad version. And of course the yellow modern weathered version of the red one that I've got is quite a bit more detailed. I think the paint works better. But nonetheless, I do think this one is really nice looking. So again, we'll start with the main sort of body of the crane. And as you can see, it's got more sort of wasp stripes, just like the other one did. But this time they're not just stickers. They do appear to be, you know, actually painted on or applied. So that's really cool. And if we just take a quick look at the back, you can see those wasp stripes are quite extensive. But you've also got quite a lot of little typed messages all over it. You've got the little keep clear one just there, and the crane ADRC 96709. You've also got little sort of railways logo there. And you've also got the, well, I suppose it's the running number or something on the actual arm of the crane there, which is ADRC 96709, just as the other one was. And even on the arm of the crane itself, you know, you've got the beautiful wasp stripes again, as well as the lettering, which looks great. And this one even has two hooks. It's got this one, which you can't alter the height of. It's just there, you know, you can lift it up or drop it down. But then you've got this sort of double hook here, which is quite a lot heavier than that red one was. And that's the one that extends if you turn the key. But yeah, quite a nice little crane. It's got quite a lot of detail on it. As you can see, it's quite pristine. You know, very simple and obviously quite a cheap model, but still pretty cool looking. Let's have a look at the truck then. As you can see, it's quite a bit longer than the other one was, and you've also got this rotating piece. I'm not sure what the point of that rotation is, but I'm sure it's a lot of fun to play with. And yeah, it's fairly simple. There's not a lot of detail on it in terms of paintwork or separately fitted parts, but there is quite a lot of moulded detail on there, as you can see. And on the very end of it, again, wasp stripes, if that's the right term. And I suppose that's quite a nice touch. But yeah, in general, a nicely detailed crane. I think the detail is a bit better on this one, actually. And great for the kids, a lot of fun. Again, as I say, not too functional because this thing's very light, so you're not going to be able to lift things with it, really. But it certainly makes for a little bit of, you know, playing. And of course, if you don't want to play with it, it looks great on the layout. You know, you can tow it round. I don't think there'll be any problems with the loading gauge with this one. Because it does fold down quite nicely. But anyway, let's get all the cranes down onto the layout, and let's see how they take it, shall we? Okay, so here's the huge breakdown train on the tracks then, and I'll just show you what we've got. Up at the front, I've got the modern Hornby weathered sort of four-piece crane, which looks very nice there, as you can see. And behind that one, I've got the red one that we looked at. Gorgeous little red crane there. Hopefully that will get under the bookcase all right. Behind that, there is the railroad yellow crane, of course, 76 ton. And just behind that, I've added just the wagon and the brake van for good measure, really. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of wheels on this train. I suppose if there was this many wheels on, say, just a passenger train, there would be about 16 coaches or something ridiculous like that. So of course there's quite a lot of drag from this train as a whole. So what I've got to pull it is a pair of Hornby Class 25s. One of them's weathered, one of them's not. But hopefully they should manage this train quite well. So I'll move the camera now, and we'll find out whether they can or not. So yeah, let's give that a try, shall we? Alright, here they come then. Here's the Class 25s. There we go, coupled. Alright, so 3 cranes and a wagon and a brake van. Okay, let's see if this can take it. Here we go. Yep, just about. Okay, let's have a few laps then, and then we'll try out one of the cranes and see what they can do. Got them at a nice gentle speed, but this hill might kill them, so I might have to speed them up a little bit. But at the moment, they're still going. They might stop. But yeah, that's a good shot. You can see them all there. All the cranes. And yeah, it looks like we are about to stop, maybe. Yep. Just, okay, let me speed those up a little bit then, see if they can make it up the hill. Yep, just a little bit more throttle was all they needed, and now they're coasting along quite happily. Although, I'm a bit worried about this sort of speed because, of course, it's a big deal if all this lot derails, but yep, it seems to be going alright. Right, let's try this hill again, shall we? Seems to be alright so far. Oh, it's just a struggle. Just done it though. Yep, just about. Although something has derailed, I think, but oh well. Okay, well I think I'm going to cut it here then, and I will take that red crane and its little supports onto a separate little train, and we'll see if it can lift a small loco or something back onto the tracks. I'm not sure it's going to work, but I suppose we'll give it a try. Okay, so as you can see that there's been a derailment of the little Southern 040, and I'm sure you can appreciate the scale of such a disaster. But luckily now we have a breakdown crane which can come and help us out, so I'll just call it. Here it comes. There we go. Okay, so I reckon we're going to need it about there probably. So let me just check you're in shot. Yeah, just about. Let me zoom out a little bit if I can. There we go. Okay, so I've got these supports, so I'm going to jam those in, and we'll see if she won't re-rail the 040. So let's now get this crane up into the air, and we might well have to adjust its position at some point. And okay, and now I'll just turn it to the side slightly and lower it down. Lower the hook. Don't know if you can see this too well. Can you? Yeah, just about. Okay, so we'll lower the hook to a sensible level, and now I'm just going to get the class 25 to pull this forward slightly, only very slightly though. Alright, that's good, that's looking good. And I probably shouldn't have done that because these supports are on the ground, but I think we're alright. Okay, so let me just try and hook that on. Yep, that's hooked on. So now I need to pull the, there we go, pull the arm up a little and turn it, maybe. No, it's going to fall. Let me move where the hook's hooking. There we go. And then release the hook a little bit. I think we're about on the track. Are we? No, but yeah, we are now. Okay, now we've got to try and unhook it. I'll see if I can do this. Yeah, there we go. I'll bring the hook back up and push it down. So I guess that's how you do it. So let's take these supports out again. So the escape, so that the, there we go, the emergency breakdown crane can disappear again. Yep, let's give it a little bit of juice then, and let's see if the 040 is back on the track, although I know it is because I just put it back on. So, yep, there goes the crane. And there goes the 040. There we go. So yeah, that is a whole load of Hornby Cranes and stuff. Let me just turn the camera around. And there are the others. So yeah, that's it. That is my Hornby Crane collection. And hopefully you've enjoyed seeing those. If you did, please feel free to leave a like or even a comment on the video, because I do love to hear from you all. But that's just about it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Check out the Facebook and Twitter pages if you'd like to. They're at facebook.com/samstrains or twitter.com/samstrains. But for now, thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you next time. Cheers everybody.